Right, hello, welcome. My name's Jay. I buy and sell on eBay UK. I specialise mainly in Hornby Model Railway, mixtape packs, records, basically any big collection that I can buy and sell individually online for a profit. At least that is the plan. Each and every week I put out a video as to what's sold and what's not sold. This week has been quite a slow week, probably the first one since about October. Maybe before that, to be fair. So yeah, it's been a bit of a reality check, but it is what it is. It's a quiet time of the year. Next couple of months predominantly are quite quiet. I did get a comment about how I store my locos, and unfortunately I can't think of your name, but you basically said about dividing them, and what I've done is I've basically divided them now here with sponge backing underneath there. It's given me more space, number one. It's protecting the locos, number two. I've done the same behind me. It does take a little bit of sort of taping and padding and so forth. But yeah, I did listen. And I think it makes complete sense. It's, I think Tommy even said on one of my comments, he said about it making it easier to find them as well. And you're right, mate. Literally, I can just lift up there and I can see the locos underneath there as opposed to lifting them all individually. So yeah, happy days. Thanks for recommending that. Really appreciate it, and I've got on and done it, so hopefully that keeps you happy. And you can see that the locos aren't getting damaged anyway. I'm waffling on. If you do like the content, please give us a thumbs up. More importantly, if you could consider subscribing, I'd really appreciate it. But without further ado, going to turn you around and show you what's sold. Right, hello and welcome back. It's now Monday. Yeah, I had to think for a minute then. Before I get started on the sales, I just wanted to reply to a couple of questions. I believe it was Greg, said, have I ever thought about building a diorama as a backdrop for my pictures, which I've seen quite a few people do on eBay. And to be honest with you, I've not got the space, mate, to store it. I would love to have some sort of backdrop that set my listings apart from other people's, and B, I just wouldn't know where to start, to be quite honest with you. My background is I don't know a lot about model railway. I've self-taught everything that I do know about it, and ultimately I think space, I've not got none of it, mate, to store it, and B, I would make a really bad job of it as well, to be fair. So I think I'll leave that to you modelers. But thanks for reaching out, mate. Really appreciate the question. And then Anthony, he said about my storage. As you know, I stack the locos. He asked whether I get any damage. To be honest with you, and I'm touching wood, no, I don't get no damage whatsoever. If I show you here on one of these locos, I tape with really low tack the numbers to the locos. Now, I have had once or twice, being brutally honest, some of the paint come off. I think I've told you guys before when I've taken them off. So I have had a little bit of damage, but not a lot. But what he suggested was perhaps to get some foam in between the locos. So today what I've done is I've ordered some foam. I was told in the past as well not to wrap them because similar sort of thing can happen. Some of the paint can come off of them. I like looking at them as well, if I'm honest with you. I like to see what I've got in stock, and I think if they were just like wrapped up, they wouldn't look as good. And obviously when I do the videos as well, I can't show you what I've sold because it's just a bit of bubble wrap. So I think, in answer to your question, no, I don't get a lot of damage. B, I get what you're saying. And C, I've ordered some foam today, so the foam will sit in between the layers of locos to stop any scratches and anything like that. And I don't think that's a bad idea. I think that's a fair thing to be doing. I suppose I could go and do it with the coaches as well, but I won't. Again, I don't get that much damage, so yeah, it is what it is. But thanks for the idea, and I'm going to implement that. Anyway, sales. Starting over here, got a LMS 060, is it? 7414. That sold for £25. They want me to send that to a different address, so I'm putting a note on there to remind myself. I've got a Lockelly wagon, sold for £7. I've got this coach from the Thomas and Friends, and you can see what I'm on about. I can just pull that straight off of there, and it doesn't do any damage to it there. He says there's a chunk of paint comes off. It didn't really, but you can imagine that happening. And I do remove these before I post them as well, so yeah, hence why I don't get people moaning about it, because ultimately they're not on there when I post them, just for my storage. That sold for $19.99. Sorry, this one sold for $12.99. Quite a nice little coach, that one there. I've then got some R600s, sold for £12.90. 8 random tapes in there, that sold for I think £11. And this one was a great one, Tasmania Rave tape pack. There is one tape missing from it, and that sold for $49.99. Yeah, so really happy with that one because there's a bit of profit in it. Anyway, this has gone on for long enough. I'm going to get this little wrapped up. I'll update you on what I sell tomorrow. Cheers. Right, hello, welcome back. It's now Tuesday. I've got you around this way because I had a bit of a big sale yesterday, and what you're looking at here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Eurostar power cars. I had somebody reach out via email saying, would I sell 8 of them for £30 each? They want to take the bodies off of them and use the chassis, the motor and the bogies and everything like that. I said that I'd take £35 and I'll buy the bodies back off of them when they're finished doing what they're doing. So they agreed. Bought all of these late last night. Any guesses as to what they're going to be doing with them, why they need the chassis and the motors and the bogies? I've not got a clue. If we get enough questions, I will ask them. But yeah, I thought that was a result, because I can sell the bodies for about between £10 and £15 each. So I'm going to pay him £5 back per body once he's finished with them, and he'll post them back to me. Great sale. This one over here, I've got an old Grand Fresh. That is a metal wagon in there. I've then got a Pullman coach there. And then last but not least, move my vape out the way, I've got, not that you can see them in there, but there is a couple of OO gauge trucks in there. That sold for £8. They sold for £35 each. That sold for $12.99, and then these sold for I think $12.99 as well. So yeah, any guesses as to what he's going to be doing with them? But whatever it is, I'm sure they'll turn out quite well. Anyway, I'm waffling on. Going to get this little block packed up. I'll update you on what I sell tomorrow. Cheers. Right, hello and welcome back. It's now Wednesday. Got 10 sales in total. Happy to have nothing major, just normal bread and butter stuff. This one here got a, what is it? Beta Fuels wagon. That sold for $9.99. Got a, I believe it's a Southern coach there. Quite nice condition, this one. That sold for a tenner as well. Some points, Hornby points. They sold for £13. Hornby standard controller. That sold for $19.99. Got some R600s. They sold for £12. This is a receiver for a remote control car. You see it in there. That sold for £11. I've then got 2 oval track packs. They sold to different buyers for $29.99 each. A GW, is it a Reading one? It's a 20-ton in it. That sold for £12. And last but not least, some more R600s. They sold for £12. So yeah, that's been my sales. Going to get this little lot packed up. I'll update you on what's up tomorrow. Cheers. Right, hello and welcome back. It's now Thursday and I'm tired. 4 sales in total. It is quiet on eBay, to be fair. For me anyway. Hopefully everybody else is having it off. I've got a Grand Fresh LNER coach. That's sold for $14.99. I've then got this container wagon thing, is it? It is new. It's not been used. Obviously it's not in its original packaging. That sold for £22. I've then got a Heat Stroke Fever tape pack. There's 3 missing from that. That sold for $14.99, and same price for this. Intercity 225 dummy. Sorry, I just had my dinner. Intercity 225 dummy. That sold for $14.99. So yeah, that's been my Thursday sales. I have got quite a bit of new stock in. Bread and butter stuff, to be fair. Nothing you've not seen before, so I won't bore you with that at the moment, but you might see it tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to get this little lot packed up. Cheers. Right, hello and welcome back. It's now Friday. Got you around this way because there's not really a lot to show, to be fair. Starting over here, got this Intercity 125. Those are the numbers there. That sold for £15. I've then got some R605s. They sold for £11 from global shipping. So they must have paid a fortune to post those. This was a really good one. Slamming Vinyl versus Destiny tape pack. There's only 4 tapes in there, and that sold for $26.99. So yeah, really happy to have that. I've got a load. I think I've showed you those over there before, and there's some other bits in here, but I've got a real load of just run-of-the-mill stock to get through. Loads of coaches, Eurostar bits, another Backman set over there, Voyager, to go through, a load of track back there, points and so forth as well. So I've got a week off work next week, and no doubt this lot will keep me busy. I might even go up here, which in all those boxes there are wagons that I've got a list as well. So I'll see how I get on with that. So yeah, eBay has definitely been really quiet. If you are reselling, how are you getting on at the moment? I've had a sort of great time with it all, but now it is quite quiet. Anyway, I'm going to get this little lot packed up. I'll update you on what's up tomorrow. Cheers. Right, hello and welcome back. It's now Sunday. Quick shout out behind me, you'll see some bubble wrap there. One of my good customers from my day job, he occasionally watched these videos. He gave me a load of packing materials, peanuts, some bubble wrap. There was a big black bag full of bubble wrap as well. I've used that already. It goes to show, tell people what you do, your friends, because this customer is a friend. I've known him for nearly 20 years now, and he bought this all in and wouldn't accept anything for it. So Philip, really appreciate it, mate. Thanks so much for the bubble wrap and all the packing supplies. Sales, 19 of them. It has been a slow week. Starting over here, got a Eurostar power car. I am getting low on these Eurostar power cars with the 8 that I sold the other day. I've also got, and I found out what the gentleman's doing with them. So if you are interested in what he's doing with those 8 Eurostar power cars, please put a comment down below. I've also got this Triang coach. I think that's sold for $8.99. I've got a, what's that? Aring Granite Co. Limited. That sold for £8. One of these oval tracks that sold for $26.99. I've also got a English China, sold for £7. Got some power clips there. They sold for a tenner. I think there's 6 of them in there. DHK parts, I love selling these. That sold for £6, and these DHK parts sold for, I think it was a tenner. These owe me next to nothing, so yeah, it's all money in the bank. Got some R607s. They sold for £11. Put a track down there because I'm running out of space. 2 grey packets, used to be purple packets, or formally standard controllers. They sold for $19.99 each. He says as he drops them. This is quite a nice one. It is a Lomac, and somebody's glued some pallets on there. Quite nice. That sold for $14.99. I'll show you it. It's quite grubby, but in there I have got a remote control car, an old Nitro one that sold for parts for $39.99. Basically, I bought this and another car plus a car that I wanted for £70. I've sold this for $40, and I sold the other car for $30, which after the fees means the other car that's probably worth, by the time I finished it, 250, 300 quid was for nothing. So happy with that. I've then got 2 Virgin HST coaches there. They sold for £19 each. I've got 8 Techno tapes. They sold for £10. R600s, they sold for a tenner as well. I have a really simple procedure of basically green numbers there will end up in a green thing up here. I managed to put this one into the pinks, so I was searching for a green number and yeah, could not find it, but found it eventually in the pinks. I've then got a Lockelly, sorry, that sold for a £5. This sold for £8. And then last but not least, another tape pack. This is a Lost in Paradise one, or Paradise, I believe it is. It is complete, quite an old tape pack, that one there. That sold for £25. So yeah, that's been my week of sales. If you do like the content or you got any comments or questions, please even feel free to put them down below. And if you could consider subscribing, I'd really appreciate it. Till next week, see you then. Cheers.